Time now for today's Math in the News. All right, today's Math in the News. Well, you know what? It seems to be Robot Day here on Do the Math, and we certainly do love robotics and everything about them. Carlos, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for coming in. So you are with the BC Industrial Automation Program.
Correct.
And what is your role at Bakersfield College?
So I'm the program manager for the 4-year degree program.
And
Yes.
you've been involved with this industrial automation program for a while now.
Yes, this would probably be my 6th year.
Okay. Because I know we've seen you at a lot of events and things like that, and kids
Yes.
are always fascinated with the different things that you bring out.
Yes.
And who else have you got with you? I know you've got some of the students here with
Yeah, so I brought a couple of our students. These are actually our current student workers for the program. I did bring Francisco. He's a senior in the program. And then we brought Ramon. He's a sophomore in the program.
you. All right, so before we get going on what you've got here, so Francisco, how did you become interested in robotics, automation, and things like that?
Well, I actually started this in high school. In my junior year, I didn't necessarily pick the electronics classes. I was just given to them, and I didn't even know they existed.
Okay.
But I actually I liked the stuff we were doing with the soldering and all the measurements and stuff, and some of the simple math on it. And then as I moved into the next classes, it was really fun. But COVID happened during that time, so it was a little challenging, I'd say, for one of the classes, but then it just kind of got easier.
Well, a challenge is always good, right?
Yeah.
Well, good. So it kind of happened by accident for you.
Yeah.
Ramon, the same thing?
Yeah, actually, my friend here, Francisco, actually told me about the program, and once I realized it's more hands-on, I was very interested. I wanted all to do with the program. I love working on stuff, instead of book work. I just love, just doing my own stuff, freestyle. Like, I really enjoy it.
Okay, good. So I'm glad that you guys are both in the program. You thoroughly enjoy it. Do you see what you may want to do as a career going through this program right now?
I'm actually looking into PG&E since
Okay.
it has a lot to do with electrical, and I love messing with wires. So that's kind of one of my main goals after graduating.
As long as you know what you're doing with the wires
Yeah.
while you're messing with them,
Yes.
everything's cool, right?
And I've been thinking more about getting into possibly controls engineering, just because I did end up taking the senior project class this past spring, and my group and I were working on a water heater trainer, and I specifically took care of a lot of the electrical stuff, so getting all the wires in, some of the buttons, sensors, equipment, and also working on a controller that would be, dealing with everything there.
All right. Well, you guys are into a great program. I know you guys like the hands-on thing and the fun aspects of it, but there's also some math and engineering things that are going on also, as well as the technology. So, Carlos, what did you bring in for us today?
So here is a senior project. So at the end of the...
And do we need to
Yeah, we'll turn
swing
it
it around a little
sideways.
bit?
So all the students before graduating, they do a senior project class where they have the opportunity to create whatever project they feel like doing.
Okay.
And so this particular project was a project that was completed this past spring by a team of students, and it is an automated can crusher.
So, are there ideas that they're given, or is just a blank slate that you go, hey, what would you guys like to do? And this is what they came up with.
They came up with their own idea. They figured that this would be a great project that they can work on. And it's something that could possibly be useful in the future or out in industry itself.
On a larger scale, even.
Exactly.
Right, because I mean, as far as crushing cans, I mean, if you've got this, you're going to be able to adapt that to other areas as well.
Correct.
So, can we see how this works?
Yeah. So Francisco's going to go ahead and demonstrate to you exactly how the system works and tell you a little bit more about it.
All right, so first we have obviously a metal detecting sensor here. All it's going to do is detect the can, and once it does, it'll basically, it'll send a signal to the controller, which will signal this to turn on, and then the conveyor belt will basically take that can all the way here to the piston that's basically going to crush it. Now, this thing runs on pneumatics, basically compressed air, so unfortunately we can't actually demonstrate that part. But towards here where the can landed at, there's another sensor that'll basically let the controller know that there's a metallic can in there, and from there it'll send a signal to the piston to actually crush it.
Okay, so It looks cool. I know a lot of kids are going to be looking at this going, wow, this is some stuff that I could build, by doing this series of classes at Bakersfield College. Now, you have to make sure that it's measured out correctly and that it falls correctly and is standing in the right position in order to be crushed. So even though it looks like a lot of fun, you're building things, there's a lot of stuff going on up here also as far as pre-planning, the engineering, the mathematics, and things behind it. So once it is crushed, how do you remove it?
So much how this.
So let's say
piston-
it's crushed.
Yeah. So since the piston runs on power and on air and obviously crushes it, well around here there's also there's actually a little hose right there that'll actually push the can out.
Okay.
Once it's done.
That's what I was wondering. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah, put your hand in there, what's going on? But if you've got the push, it'll knock it out.
Yeah.
So you never have to deal with it once it comes over here. So how about you guys get a robot where you can take the cans and put them here and then
And that's
You see what I'm
yes,
saying?
that's doable. We can integrate a universal robot or another industrial robot that can pick up the can itself and place it onto the conveyor belt system for it to be crushed automatically.
And there are some students that are probably working on different types of programs in elementary school, working like Rube Goldberg projects, right? Where you've got a series of steps to get something accomplished, kind of like this, right? Because it's like, all right, I want to crush the can, but before you crush the can, it's got to go on the conveyor belt. Then it's got to get tipped, then it's got to have the air and compress it, and then you've got the other one shooting it out, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. And that's what automation is. There's so many different steps to automation before completing a simple task. There's prior tasks that you have to complete to meet that goal.
Now, I know you guys have a manufacturing day coming up.
Yes, so
And that's coming up pretty soon. So when is that?
that is next Friday, October 11th.
And how do students find out more about it or attend it?
So they can visit the Bakersfield College website and go to the events page, and they should be able to get all the information on there, or they can look at the flyer right now as well. We're currently expecting over 1,200 students to attend this event.
And is that going to be able to crush 1,200 cans that day? Because you know every kid's going to want to go up there and crush a can, right?
It will not be able to crush 1,200 cans, but we can. We're always up for a
But
challenge.
you can show how it works and stuff like that,
Correct.
right? So once again, that's coming up next Friday, October 11th,
Correct.
at Bakersfield College.
At Bakersfield College from 9:30 to 1:30.
So hopefully they've got some teachers that'll be able to bring them out. And I'm sure you guys have, you just said over 1,000 people already coming.
Correct. Yes. So it is an annual event, and a lot of students do seem to enjoy it. We have industry partners that will be there as well. So they will talk to the students about the different career options that there are in manufacturing.
All right. And you guys will be out there, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Can I come out too even though I'm not a student?
Of course.
Of course.
That's what I wanted to hear right there. All right, thanks guys. So Manufacturing Day at Bakersfield College coming up October 11th. Thank you to Carlos, Francisco, and Ramon. We'll be back with more right after this.